YouTube family, welcome back to another video. Today I have another contender when I was looking to purchase another daily commuter. So recently I just did why I chose the Integra over the SI. Now I want to speak about the Honda Civic Sport Touring hatchback and manual transmission. So behind me I have a 24 Civic Sport Touring and my Acura Integra A-Spec with tech. I saw it on my dealership was getting a manual transmission Sport Touring, which is not easy to come by in Sonic Gray. So I was waiting for that car to come in. The car ended up selling. So I did a quick video on it, but then it went away right after that. So I'm gonna drop that clip here. So pretty much the Integra is based off of this. This is a Civic hatchback. This one is a Sport Touring. So this is the highest level Civic you can grab. So really take a look at this one. This one is the 6-speed manual transmission. Super rare to find. I think Honda's gonna discontinue manual transmission because this is like the third one I've had this year in a Sport Touring, and I had I think 2 or 1 Sport manual hatchback, which is a lower trim. Manual transmission in the Sport Touring is super rare, so that Sonic Gray flew out of here. But I do have a meteorite gray CVT Sport Touring with the gray interior, and of course next to it is my Integra A-Spec with tech, liquid carbon with the red interior. Now this was a contender. Well, technically it wasn't a contender in my eyes. It was more the SI than the Civic Sport Touring. When it comes to features, this is way more closer to the Integra versus the SI. The SI has the same powertrain as the Integra, but this has almost the same tech as the Integra. Just taking a look at both of them, you can see how similar they are. At the end of the day, Acura did a very good job of making the Integra a lot different. Now, just to get this out of the way, number one reason why I didn't went with a Sport Touring, I went with Integra, is because I had a 11th gen Civic already. I had a Touring sedan, which is the same exact thing as the Sport Touring, but the Sport Touring is a hatchback, one, and the Sport Touring, the grill's a little bit different and it comes with a little side skirt. So the Sport Touring is supposed to be a little bit more sportier than the Touring sedan, but equipment wise, they're the same thing. So I had a 22 Touring, and because I had that, buying this wouldn't make any sense to me because it would have been the same exact car with a hatch. I wanted something different with a hatch. That's where this thing come into play. Also, the Integra still has more features than the Sport Touring. It's really close. Don't get me wrong, they're really close. Acura still dropped their little Acura sauce, in Integra to make it different than this guy. You can see though that the Integra looks a little bit more bubblier, like a little bit more, I wouldn't say wider. I mean, it is wider, but it just looks more broader than the Civic. You can see the fenders, bumper, everything is different, of course. That's one thing about the Integra. It doesn't share like doors and fenders or anything like the Civic, like a lot of other shared platform cars are. The Integra really is its own beast, and you have to drive it to feel the difference. But let's go around to the rear of them. I'm not making this video saying that the Integra is better than the Civic. Everyone have different tasks, different needs. There we go. So both of these vehicles can check off what you're looking for. This is more for older crowd. This is more for younger crowd. This is more for you want a little bit more performance than a regular Civic. This is same performance as all the Civics, just you want more features. Just because I said older crowd on that one, younger crowd on this one, young crowd can still get this because I got one, and there's a lot of young people that get an Integra. But I had my fair share of Civics. I've had my fair share of Civics, and like I said, I had 11th gen already. But the taillights, it's a combination, so LED daytime runners and brake, and then turn signals, reverse lights, regular bulbs. On the Integra, you're gonna get full LED, and they wrap around the rear fender bumper, which is cool. I'm about to say rear fender, rear quarter and bumper. But just taking a look at them from the back, the Acura just, I don't know, the presence on the Acura is just completely different, but that's what a premium brand is supposed to do. It's supposed to be in your face. The Civic is still in your face, but it's a little bit more chill as well. Now, both of these are hatchbacks. They're not power, but both of these are hatchbacks. So you can see one thing about the Sport Touring has a 2-piece, cargo cover. So if you want to hide what's in the trunk, you do pull this guy to hide this part, and then the lower portion down here will be hidden with this one. And if we go to the Integra, open this guy up, it's a 1-piece, which way more convenient, which I like. Now that they're both open, notice that the Integra have a higher, load floor versus the Civic. Because on the Civic, See how it's much lower to get things in and out? So you can see this is much lower. The floor is more lower because this is more lower. And then when we go to the Integra, you can see how much higher this piece is, but how much deeper the trunk is as well. So keep that in mind. The Integra does not come with a spare tire. You do have to, you can add a spare tire kit though. It's not like you can never have one. You can add one, but it will come with a flat fix kit. The Civic will come with a spare tire in the trunk. Now, this one does have a cargo tray in it. You have your carpet mats, but this is how your traditional trunk will look. So you see you get your tools and your tire and all that good stuff. The Integra will just have a space down there for a tire, but it give you storage. So if I lift this guy up, so you can see we have a flat fix kit and additional storage. I put the front license plate in here, bracket in there, and just a random bag. If you lift this little cushion piece up, the divider, this whole piece is just a big open space for a spare tire. So you can buy a spare tire kit, and I'm going to actually do that because that flat fix kit is not going to do nothing for me. You probably see the ELS Studio 3D subwoofer back here. The Integra will have a 15 speaker 3D ELS Studio sound system, which sounds A1. And the Civic is gonna have a Bose sound system, 12 speaker, which also sounds really good, but the ELS is not touching the ELS at all. So if you're an audiophile, you love music, you probably want to go to Integra for music, if that's really that important to you, to be honest. And you probably noticed the 2 LED lights in the trunk of the Integra. This one has 1 light and it's a regular bulb. It's not LED. But let's close this up and actually get an interior, because this is where it's very, very similar. On the Integra, the door handle will light up at night, which is nice. When you walk up to it, it'll automatically light up and turn on the light on the inside, which I love that feature. It's actually pretty cool. So this is the gray interior. And on Integra, I think you can get you get a lighter interior. It's not gray. Acura calls it orchid. And it is lighter than this gray, but hopefully in this lighting, you guys can actually see or get an idea what this gray looks like. Let's get in here. So when I sit in this guy and I sit in Integra, you guys are gonna see how very similar it is. Notice no memory seats on the Civic. And, oh, before I open the door, down here, you do have power seating on the Civic, but there's no lumbar control as well. You do get the full digital display like you do get in the Integra, and you get the 9-inch touchscreen display too, like the Integra. This one is a CVT, it's not the manual, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this one up. If you want the full digital though, it's only on the Sport Touring. Anything below this EXL, Sport LX, you cannot get this full digital display. Same thing with the 9-inch display, it'll be a smaller, I think 7-inch on any model below this. One thing that drives me crazy on Civics is the piano black, and they have some in Integra, but they chilled out with the piano black and Integra. In the Civic though, like this thing go across the whole dash, and that thing is just, I don't like piano black. They did good with this piece right here though. I love this. Like I wish they did this in Integra. Right here is piano black on Integra. But first thing to notice, no heads-up display. You have that on Integra. One thing the Integra is missing out is heated steering wheel. I feel like if it's a premium car, should definitely have heated steering wheel. This will also have heated seats. I feel like the Sport Touring Civic, well, no, I think the Civic can get away with not having ventilated seats, but the Integra definitely should have had ventilated seats. It's interesting that they don't have that, but you can see the home screen, very similar like the Integra. You do get a built-in navigation system on the Civic, but you don't get one in Integra, which is interesting. I know everyone uses Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. No one really uses the what do you call this, the native navigation system. It'd be nice to still have that, you know. And Sirius, oh yeah, Sirius. But this layout is different, you know. Honda's version, Acura has their own version. So you can see the different screens, different options, all very similar as well. You get a wireless phone charger as well. No USB-C on the Civic. I'm assuming for 25 they're gonna put USB-C in there, but on 24, the Acura has a USB-A and a USB-C, but on the Civic, it's only USB-A, and that's pretty much it. You have dual zone, which is nice. CVT model, leather wrap shift knob, park, reverse, neutral drive, all that good stuff. The drive modes on the Civic, you have, I think, 3. So, yeah, here we go. So you got Sport, Normal, and Econ. Let me zoom in there for you guys so you can see it. So Econ, Normal, and Sport. On the Integra, you have multiple different drive modes, and you have an individual mode, which I'm gonna show you guys in the Integra, which is nice. You can really customize the drive. Not so much in the Civic. I mean, the Civic is not, don't get me wrong, in this class, the Civic drives really well. It drives very premium, as if it should be on the level of Acura, but when you get an Integra and drive an Integra, it's just, it'll knock this thing out the park. So the driving, you'll definitely drive a Civic and drive an Integra if you're deciding between the two. This is one thing I hate that the Integra doesn't have. So the Civic Sport Tourings have HomeLink. Integra does not have HomeLink. I don't know why. No HomeLink, and you can't add it as an accessory either, which is interesting. I'm sure you can probably buy a Civic one and probably trying to jig it in your Integra somehow, but I don't know why that's not standard on the Integra. Makes no sense to me. But now you guys familiar with the cabin, I'm gonna jump out of here and get into the Integra. So notice on the door, you do have memory seats, 2-position memory seats, more of the ELS Studio 3D sound system. And then remember on the Civic, I'll show you guys the power seats. So here you have power seats with a 4-way lumbar. You can't get that on the Civic. It's an excellent choice, but if you want a little bit more, this is not enough, get the Integra. Get the Integra. The base model is interesting because the base model is actually a good buy on the Integra, but you might as well get the A-Spec and Tech, especially if you wanted to get an A-Spec or an A-Spec with Tech. For a few thousand more, you might as well get the A-Spec Tech. Like the A-Spec is, I get it, you want the sportier looks, you want like the black spoilers and the sportier wheels and fog lights, stuff like that. Like you want the looks on the outside, like I get that. A-Spec with Tech is just a few thousand more. You get way more features in this guy than you don't get in the A-Spec. But then again, everyone don't want features. Some people don't need heads-up displays and parking sensors and all these goodies that this thing adds. So I get that too. It makes sense. One thing I love about the Integra is the illuminated emblem that you can buy. This thing lights up, it's LED. Oh, it's all nasty. I haven't washed this car since I bought it. It's just been, it keeps raining. I think we're in the monsoon season because it keeps raining, and when the rain is done and the wind comes in, when the rain done, the sun comes out, the wind blows dirt all over the place, and then dirt stays on your car, and then your car get dirty. So it's just, but I will wash the car though. It does need a wash. I don't want to add layers of like dirt on it. But yeah, like tell me what you guys think. You know, like would you get the Civic or would you get the Integra? I hope I made some valid points to why you would get the Integra. I feel like majority of people would get the Civic. Like I don't think the Integra is for everybody. I think especially almost 40 grand where you can get this thing. How much is this thing? I think it's like 30 something. This thing is MSRP is 32.5. So you're looking at 32.5 and like 39 grand. I think for a 20. I think 25s are out now on the Integra. So I think it's like almost 40 grand on Integra, and then you got this guy. So also, I want you guys to understand that why you would buy an Integra. So it's another reason why I wanted to make this video. Like I know there's people out there like me that need more than what the Civic offer, and you don't need too much more. You know, you don't need a all-wheel drive, 400 horsepower, ultra luxury performance car. You know, you just want a little bit more than what the Civic offer. Then you get the Integra. I hope this video helps and answers some questions. But before I go, I'm gonna throw in a clip. A customer stopped by and showed us their, what is that, Hiace? I think a Toyota Hiace, and it was like it's like a camper edition or something like that. It was actually pretty cool. I had this clip for a while, and I knew I want to throw it in one of these videos. I'm gonna throw it in this one. This thing is cool. Right-hand drive. This thing is. Never seen one of these in New Mexico before. It's cool though. Got a fridge, storage, bed, all types of stuff like that.
A back wall that slopes down, and another one that comes off the other side that slopes out.
That's cool. That's cool. Have you ever seen one of these in person?
Yeah, in Bangladesh, you see, in Japan, they call Hiace.
Hiace. Yeah. I was telling them in Jamaica, they're everywhere in Jamaica.
They're everywhere in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Hiace.
Got fridge in here, sink, AC. This thing's ready to go.
Back facing bench, and then there's a drawer down here. You got extra water back there. It holds a 5-gallon jug here, and you have a reserved 5-gallon jug.
Okay.
That goes in here for your water system.
That's cool. I like the floors.
People sit on the engine.
Yeah, you sit on the engine, yeah. This thing is cool. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you for watching the whole video. Drop a comment below, let me know what you think about these two, and I will catch you in the next video.